feel like I pulled out my other lighter already. Hello! Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to my Absolutely Fried podcast. My name is Jezabelle, and every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we get Absolutely Fried together on Kick and Twitch. How's everybody doing today? If you're watching on YouTube, hello. Please don't forget to subscribe. If you're more of a listener than a viewer, just know that this podcast is available to you on every streaming platform. So Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Samsung, Amazon, you name it, it's there. Just search Absolutely Fried, or you can check the link for you can check the description for the link. Also, don't forget to follow the podcast on Instagram at Absolutely Fried Podcast. Welcome back, everybody. Oh my gosh. Why does it feel like it's been years? Why does it feel like it's been years? It's been one stream that we missed. One stream, one episode. And I swear to God, it feels like it's been a week. So that scares me because, eventually I'm going to take a vacation, or I'm going to go visit family or something, and I'm going to take a break from this maybe for like a week or so. And so that scares me because now I'm thinking, well, when you go to take that vacation, when you go visit your family, that week might feel like a fucking month then. That's scary. That's so crazy. I would probably have to do something in between. I don't know. Oh my God. The fact that a day can feel so long. Shout out to Jewel Jax for subscribing. Been subscribed for 7 months. You're on your seventh month right now. That's crazy. So happy to have you here. Buddy, let me just say, we have a lot to talk about. So I think that we should just get into it. Honestly, truly. Let's get into it. For starters, let's just start off with, oh my God. I don't know if I should start like from way back when, all this shit that I've written down to talk about, because, buddy, I've had a lot of fucking thoughts. Let's see where I want to start. Let's start with recanting on a collab. So I pulled out of a collab recently, and I want to talk about it, actually. Not that they did anything wrong. This company didn't do anything wrong to me. I pulled out just for my own reasonings, and I'm going to explain them to you. I'm not going to say the name of the brand, right? But there was a brand that reached out to me. I talked about this just a teensy bit on my Patreon, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into it. So there's a brand that I believe is reaching out to a lot of people right now. Some of you may know, some of you may not know, but I'm trying to experiment with THCA right now. So I'm trying to find different THCA like brands out there that I think would be good to recommend to you, because I know that not all of you guys live in a legalized state. There's a lot more non-legalized states than legalized states. So I want to try to, share the same product as you guys, give you my opinion on what I think is great, what I like. And so I've been trying to do some research into getting a bunch of random brands. Like I did like an unboxing on Patreon where I showed you guys a few different THCA brands I got to try. And then I have this humongous other box that I still have yet to unbox that's just completely filled with THCA, completely different brands across the board. And I had this one brand that reached out to me, and they were like, hey, it's a THCA brand, very large brand, very well known by most people. And they're like, we would absolutely love to get a video from you. Like, what do we need to do to be able to partner with you, collaborate with you? They're like, we want to send you a bunch of product and just like include us in a YouTube video. So here, let's start off here. I'm going to just give you my red flags for a brand, because my first red flag was they asked me about collaborating and what I would charge for a YouTube video. And typically, when you speak with somebody about what it is that you charge, you want to shoot for the moon. You know what I mean? You want to ask for more, because worst case scenario, they're going to turn around and say, we can't pay you that, but we can do this, right? So I shot for the moon. I mean, like, this was a number nobody's ever given me, right? Shoot for the moon. They were like, okay, great. Their first response, I'm talking about within a few minutes too, responded to me, yes, great, that sounds wonderful, we'll send over the contract right now. And I was like, damn, should I have asked? I literally remember like reading the email, and I was like, should I have asked for more? Like, wait a second, like this I was like, you know what? Maybe they just think I'm worth it. You know, like maybe they're like, this girl is worth that. You know what? I started talking myself up. I'm like, you know what? I am worth that. I am worth that. You know, I started feeling good about it. But then I just saw how easily, like, I was just communicating to them of exactly what it was that I wanted to like try from them. And so I was listing off all these different strains. I was listing off exactly what I'm looking for, how much I would need. I was telling them all of my necessities, and they were willing to give me that plus a whole lot more. And also just like random other shit, right? And I'm like, wow, this is seeming a little bit too good to be true. So the thing about THCA that's so difficult is that it's very unregulated. And that's why I want to dip my toe a little bit more into it. I can't lie to you, I'm terrified of THCA. I really am. Luckily, I've worked with, I think, one other THCA brand, and I thought that they were fantastic. I thought that they were great. It was Imperial. Imperial is, in my opinion, amazing THCA. Like, I literally had an Imperial pre-roll left over from when I last worked with them. And I literally smoked it instead of smoking weed because like it is weed. It's so great. And I know a lot of people, like, you'll hear reviews of people being like, oh, like this THCA is just like smoking weed. And people always say back to them, they're like, oh, like, you sound dumb. THCA is weed. It is THC. But the thing is, when we say that, we're trying to tell you that, like, it's not that we don't think THCA is weed. It's that this is really fucking good. Like, I would not have known that I smoked THCA because since it's so unregulated, there's a lot more bad companies out there than there are good companies. And I'm not saying that they're going to harm you or anything, but like, it's just shit quality. There's no regulations. So they just get like the worst of the worst, and it's just shit quality. And so a lot of people will smoke it. Some people will smoke it, feel nothing. Some people will smoke it and get massive headaches. So that's what we mean when we say like, wow, this is just like weed. So I decided, since they were being so nice to me, I was like, I need to do a little bit of like research. So I decided to look more into the brand. So I looked them up on Reddit. There is a lot of not good things being said about them. A lot of not good things. And a lot of people upvoting these not good things that are being said. And there's even people that are like specifically reaching out to this company to try to catch them up, to be like, yeah, can you please send me this information? Like, send me your test results for this, like da. And they dance around it. They don't want to send it. They dance around it. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's already right off the bat very odd. I'm scared of smoking THCA because of the fact that it's so unregulated, and I'm worried, like, I don't want to smoke something that's going to harm my body. And, you know, it's difficult to find a company you can trust. And that was the whole reason why I moved to California. So after reading that on Reddit, I was like, okay, that's a little bit weird. I decided to do more research into them. And this time I looked them up on social media. I'm going to go ahead and tell you the absolute biggest red flag. This is my personal opinion, but when you see a company pumping out rapper promos, that is not a good sign. That is absolutely not a good sign. You know, that's just my opinion, but massive red flag. Because first of all, this is THCA too. Now, why the fuck would a rapper be promoting pounds of THCA, be talking about they smoke THCA, a rapper? And I'm not talking about like small rappers either. I'm talking about like big ones. Like, these are very well known. You know what I mean? Like, you might have, some of you might have seen these videos already and may already know what brand I'm talking about. Yeah. So they're pumping out, I think 21 Savage was literally one of the rappers that they worked with. I'm like 99% sure that was one of the videos I saw. So like, that right there is a massive red flag to me. That don't trust that. Do not trust that. So I'm sitting here thinking, oh, they said yes to me so quickly about the amount that I asked for because they must have a huge budget. Because these rappers are not asking for like little YouTuber money. These rappers are probably like, they're asking for a lot more. I hypothetically know somebody who pays like a rappers for promos. Like, I'm sure you've seen like a rapper go on Instagram and be like, oh, like, if you're in LA, like, tap in with my boy, or being like, oh, like, check out this Telegram. Like, this is who I shop with. Like, they got the best. Like, I'm sure you've seen just like quick videos like that on Instagram. But they get paid anywhere between $50,000 to $400,000. 50 to 400 grand, depending on how big of a rapper this is. 50 to 400 grand just to make that video. That's fucking insane. So I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. If a company is pumping out shit with like rappers as their promos, something tells me they're trying to save themselves from something. Like they're going under right now. They're going under. So I just decided not to go through with it and not to trust it. I decided not to trust it. Shout out to RAR. It's Ibby for subscribing. Thank you. Resubscribed for 6 months. You've been subscribed for 7 months. Dude, this is crazy. Like, cause like, I don't even think about the fact that I've been like streaming that long. Like I forget how, like, I swear to God, I feel like I blinked and like, boom, we're here. So like to see 6 months, 7 months, to see stuff like that, I'm like, oh my gosh, you've been here so long. We've been here so long. But yeah, so anyway, that's my opinion on that. That's why I pulled out of it. I reached out to them. Like I said, they didn't do anything bad to me. I just like reached out to them and I was like, unfortunately, like actually I'm going to have to cancel this collaboration. And they emailed me back and they were like, oh, like we completely understand, but like, is there any way that like we can make this work? Like, what was the issue? Why did you want to like not go forward with it? And I was like, I didn't respond. I didn't respond. I wasn't gonna, because like, what am I gonna say to that? Well, you see, there's a lot going on online about you guys. Also, could you explain to me why it's rappers? Why did 21 Savage tell me to? Hypothetically, I know 21 Savage's plug. Why was he promoting a pound of THCA? He doesn't need to do that. Oh, but that right there, I just wanted to give you guys a huge, like, I wanted to give you just a heads up about that. Don't trust a company that's like that. That's scary. So scary. This kind of ties in, while we're on the topic of just like social media and talking about companies, I was thinking about something recently. So y'all know how when it comes to like the cannabis community, pause on that real quick. Because go back to the other conversation. Everybody chill out. This is between us, right? There's another company that this company is associated with. Like, it's like a branch off of that company. And it's like a smaller company that's like, it's like basically them just rebranded as like another brand. And like, I know this. And like, they would like at the exact same time that company, like the big one that I like pulled out of, the other brand was like messaging me too. And like once I like stopped responding to the other large company, they started like massively like emailing me, like basically like harassing me to get like a collaboration with me. And I'm like, this like is such a red flag to me. This is like a big red flag. Like I'm talking about like hitting me up on every single platform, every platform. That's so, I don't know, that feels so sketchy to me. So sketchy. But anyway, back to the YouTube thing. So, YouTube. Y'all know how in the cannabis world, most like cannabis content creators aren't monetized because, I don't know, their explanation is that content that's like that is like, it's not family friendly. And so apparently advertisers want the content that they're promoting, they're at like whatever it is that they're promoting on the video, they want the video to be family friendly. They want it to be safe because then it becomes associated with the brand. So that's YouTube's explanation. And when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, that makes sense. Like, I get it. Like, you know, this is just how it is, right? But what doesn't make sense is Twitch offers you to monetize anything, you know? Like, there's ads that get played on this live stream right now, and they don't care what it is that I do. I could probably smoke crack on here, and they wouldn't do nothing. I don't know. They might do something about that. But thankfully, we're not smoking crack. We're smoking something that's legalized. As long as you just mark your stream to just be 18 or older. Like, you just have to be 18 years or older, or you agree that you're 18 years or older when you go to watch the stream, right? And they allow you to advertise anything on it. And so I got to thinking, I started doing some research, and I found people on Reddit saying that like YouTube advertises on your videos in some way, no matter what. they advertise on your video and they just collect the funds rather than allow you to collect the funds. Now, there's a ton of other ways to lose YouTube monetization besides cannabis, but I just find that that's interesting that YouTube claims that it's because, like, you know, their advertisers want things to be family friendly, but you'll see those exact same advertisements on Twitch, which doesn't care what you do. Maybe not crack. Yeah, maybe not crack. So that was just something that's interesting to me. But I don't know, maybe the cannabis kind of situation going on different like on YouTube is going to be changing, because I don't know if you guys have seen, but I saw like a video from Dope as Yola where he was at the YouTube headquarters, right? And he tweeted that he had like a meeting with YouTube, and then after the meeting he was like, oh, the meeting with YouTube like went way better than I ever expected. And then all of a sudden I go over to his podcast channel, Dope as Usual. That bitch got fucking, oh my God, he got his fucking monetization. That's insane. He got his monetization back because that man is smoking fat fucking blunts and shit in there. And he has full blown monetization. We're talking like 1, 2, 3 hour podcasts. They're smoking a lot in there and for a while, and YouTube gave them back their monetization. So what does that mean for the changes at YouTube? That's huge. I don't know if you guys like know that, but that's huge for YouTube, because even just the slightest hint of anything, like they'll take you out. It's crazy. I've had videos where like I didn't even smoke in the frame or anything, didn't say that I was smoking, but because like, you know, like how I pan away sometimes and like I'll smoke, I was talking about it, and they completely like took they like not strike, but they like said that it was like a violation, the video, which is crazy. So they get like, they were pretty tough on that shit. So to see that is like a huge change. You think he smoked with the YouTube staff? Dude, like that's actually crazy. That's like, for that to even be a possibility is crazy. Shout out to Miller Auto for gifting a sub. Thank you so much. Shout out to YRN1000 for subscribing. And shout out to, oh, I don't know how to say that. Citayu. Citayu. Thank you for subscribing. My bad. Oh, you've been here since Faded Santa? That's crazy. Dang, that time of the year is coming back up. Santa Claus is going to have to come back out. That's crazy. Damn, that was like such a fun video. I have this YouTube video where like I dressed up as Santa Claus, right? And I got the good suit. Like I got the good suit. Like it came with eyebrows and everything, right? Came with boots. It was supposed to come with little glasses too, but for some reason the glasses weren't in there and I wasn't about to go back to the store to ask for them. So I got dressed up as Santa Claus and I sat in my rocking chair. It really fit the vibe. It was amazing. And I went to the grocery store and bought every type of chocolate chip cookie that there was. I bought the vegan ones, the oatmeal one, the just regular chocolate chip, triple chocolate chip. I got this salted like caramel and chocolate chip one, and I was going and tasting all of them to tell you which one would be the best to give Santa Claus. What would be the best cookie to leave out for him. That was so fun, mainly because I got to just like face a whole plate of cookies. But that shit was good as fuck. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. You got demonetized on your video saying that it was plagiarizing Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande, and you were just playing random stuff on your guitar in the background of a video. That's crazy. That's so weird. They're like really on that shit. Of course, it's Santa that made it better, I assume. Oh yeah, no, that was so much fun. That was the day that I smoked super lemon haze. That was my first time smoking super lemon haze too. So if you're wondering like how I look off super lemon haze, that's a great representation, because let me tell you, buddy, I smoked a lot. And I remember that was like, super lemon haze is like a crazy sativa, right? It's completely and utterly just your head. No matter how much of it you smoke, it never hit my body. It did not hit my body. It was all in my head, right? And this is like another reason why I've just like branched away from sativas. I've become more of enjoying like the body high. I like the body high more than the head high now. Or if it's gonna have a head high to it, I definitely want some body, right? But sativa, I used to be obsessed with that shit. And this sativa, when you have a sativa that's like just straight cerebral, like just completely in your head, you like kind of question if you're high. That's how I know I'm like really fucking high. Like I'll smoke like I would smoke like a whole cone, right? A whole king size cone. And I remember being in the chair, like eating the cookies and like rocking back and forth and thinking like, am I fried right now? And like, I remember when I was editing the footage, I had to edit out like hours of me just sitting in the chair, rocking back and forth, talking to myself. Bitch, I was talking to myself. And like you see it in the video. I should do a behind the scenes video and just like drop that. So, and you see all the footage that I edit out. Bro, it was me rocking back and forth in the chair and I was going like, I couldn't hear what I was saying. I was whispering. I was like, I'm like whispering to myself and shit. And I was like, oh my God. That whole time, like hours, I'm sitting there trying to figure, am I high? Like, I'm not high right now. I don't feel high. And then there was a point where I put the plate of cookies down and I stood up and I start like walking around a little bit trying to see if I feel it in my body. And I walked over to my mirror that was like hanging on my wall and I looked myself in the eyes. I was gone. I've never to this day never seen my eyes so red before, because since I kept thinking like, oh, like, am I high? I don't think I'm high right now. I kept smoking and I smoked so fucking much. I was fried. I was gone. Shout out to Retro OFWGKTA for subscribing. Thank you. Yeah, no, but Super Lemon Haze is crazy. If you want a sativa recommendation, like you're a sativa lover, Super Lemon Haze. That's an OG strain, I think. Like it's like been around for like a very long time. Like I know most people I feel like might have had Super Lemon Haze. It's just like a go-to. Like you can find it with any brand. First sativa I smoked, I remember I was talking to myself downstairs while making a sandwich. No, yeah, dude, that whole talking to yourself is crazy. I catch myself doing it all the time. Like, it literally happened today. I was editing my YouTube video for this week, and it's like a makeup video, right? And I'm like doing my makeup, and I was like whispering to myself. It was low-key creepy. It was low-key creepy. I was like doing it and I'm looking in the mirror, right? And I'm like hitting my face with the beauty blender. And I was like whispering. And then all of a sudden I like stopped whispering and I just like looked up. So I was like, and then I went back to just doing my makeup. It was the weirdest shit ever. I was like, damn, can I see? I thought I was looking at myself through the fucking screen. I was like, oh my God, why the fuck did I just do that? And I don't remember what it was. I wish I could. What was I talking to myself about? What was I talking to myself about? And what did I say that I just stopped suddenly and looked up? That's so fucking weird. Oh my God. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff that I can definitely say there's a lot of stuff that I do while I'm high that I for sure did not know that I did. I've been smoking for years. I definitely did not think that I talked to myself. Like, I know that I'll be in my head and like, I'll be like responding to myself in my head, right? But I think that my whole life, maybe like the entire time I've been smoking, when I think I'm talking in my head, I might be talking out loud. And now that I think about it, I swear to God, there's been times where I'm hanging out with somebody and like maybe we're in the car or something and they're like driving and I'll be like fried. And I'll be like thinking things and saying stuff in my head. And then all of a sudden they'll ask me, they'll be like, what'd you say? And I'll go, what are you talking about? I didn't say anything. Because I don't think that I said something. But buddy, I might have been whispering to myself next to these people. Damn. Maybe that's why a few people haven't like smoked with me again. There might be a few people out there that hung out with me and they were like, damn, this bitch is weird. No, the realization of all this is crazy. Oh my God. That happened to you? Okay, wait, so does this happen to other people? That makes me feel so much better. So long as I'm not arguing with myself. No, like I'm worried. Was I? Oh my gosh, I wanted to talk to you guys about like my recent obsessions. So, my recent obsessions, I've had quite a few. One of them is Chick-fil-A, but we already knew that. We knew that I was obsessed with Chick-fil-A, right? But recently, I don't know, it's been like crack mode. It's like I've never had it before in my life. So, as somebody, okay, I remember the first time I tried Chick-fil-A, I was in high school, actually. I was a freshman in high school. I got Chick-fil-A, and my mom took me there to try it. I was like, damn, like, this is really good. And so I wanted to keep going back. And I would save up money. I would find random coins. I would literally go to school and I would ask people, I'd be like, hey, you have $1 for the vending machine? Oh, could I get $1 from the vending machine? And people would just like give me $1, right? So I started racking up. I just started going around asking. I was like, hey, can I get $1? Like, do you have $1? Like, I want to get like a soda. And they'd be like, yeah, sure. Here you go. People would just give me dollars. So I'd rack up, you know, like a considerable amount of money. And I would spend every dime, all of it on Chick-fil-A. And I remember I became so obsessed with it that I remembered the exact amount of money that I needed in order to get the meal that I liked, which was very simple. I would just get a chicken sandwich with large fries and with a milkshake, a vanilla milkshake. Very simple meal, right? It was $8.52. It was $8.52. I never forgot the amount. And my mom would tell me, she said, I will take you to Chick-fil-A whenever you want. It wasn't far from us. She was like, I'll take you there whenever you want, as long as you have the money to pay for it. I always had the money, so I was going there quite often. I would say that it's definitely why I became a little bit chubbier in high school. She made a promise to me. You got the money, I'll take you. I'm so glad she kept that promise. I enjoyed myself. But ever since then, I have pretty much had Chick-fil-A once a week. Ever since then. Sometimes, I'm not ashamed to admit this, sometimes even more than once a week. 2, 3, dare I say 4? And recently, it's definitely been on the higher end of the spectrum. I don't know what's going on. If you want to know the specific thing that I'm obsessed with, Cobb salad. Have y'all ever had the Cobb salad from Chick-fil-A? Try Popeye's wings. I love Popeye's. Now, I know some of you think, Jezabelle, a salad from Chick-fil-A when they have so much more to offer? Yes, I've been banging up that hot pepper pimento sandwich. I definitely have been getting that. But the salad, listen to me. If you have not had a Chick-fil-A salad before, you need to go to Chick-fil-A. You need to get the Cobb salad with nuggets, fried nuggets. Fuck the grilled bullshit. Get grilled, if you have to be healthy. Like, it's good for being healthy, but trust me, you want to get the fried. Get the nuggets, right? And you're going to get ranch. Oh my God. Just talking about it right now, it's like, it's sending an excitement through me, like a titillating feeling right now from my toes all the way up, from the top all the way down. I feel it everywhere. I'm not going to get any more specific than that. You do with that information what you will, right? But just know it's doing something to me. Just the thought. I've already had it. Shut up. I'm not going to tell you. 3 times. It's so fucking good. Trust me. You need to do it while you're there. Get yourself a lemonade. You can get a diet. Sometimes I get myself a diet to balance it out, be a little bit healthier. But trust me, all I know is that you need to try that salad if you haven't had it. And that brings me to something else that I've discovered since I've moved to California, which, buddy, I did not think I was going to go through this. when I thought California, especially LA, I was like, there's going to be so much food out there, right? I was thinking I'm going to be able to have anything that I want. And I was like, Atlanta has so much to offer, but it's more specific. You know, like it's good food. Atlanta has good food. Just know that. Atlanta has great food, but it's like more specific versus like LA. I knew I'd come here. It's a melting pot of people. There's going to be a ton of food. The only thing that they don't have is Southern food. They don't have Southern food here. And I didn't know what Southern food was until I moved here. See, I grew up my whole life pretty much in Georgia, in the bumfuck middle of nowhere. And then I moved to the city of Atlanta. I thought that it was common to have just fried chicken everywhere. Just anything deep fried. You can think of something deep fried, just available. You could toss a rock and you can find whatever it is that you want deep fried. I even knew a place that deep fried pizzas, like would make an entire pizza and then fry it, batter it and fry it. And people ate it. I thought that was normal. And I remember, like, I think it was like literally like 2 weeks ago, I was craving a Cobb salad, but guess what? It was Sunday. So Chick-fil-A wasn't open. Couldn't go there. And so I'm sitting in the car. I looked for like an hour and a half to find a Cobb salad around me. Now, when I say Cobb salad, let me tell you what goes on a fucking Cobb salad. You get yourself a good lettuce base, okay? Whatever you want. I don't give a shit what you do. Romaine is most likely what I would recommend to go for. Then, obviously, boom, fried chicken. Okay, you can have tomatoes. Tomatoes are cool. I'm not much of a tomato person. Okay, cheese. Blue cheese is okay, but the real one that you should be going for is shredded cheddar or like a mix of shredded cheese. Okay, that's important, and you want a lot of it. What else? You can get some corn on there, maybe some onion. You definitely have to have an egg in there. There has to be an egg. Am I missing anything? Chick-fil-A does these crispy red bell peppers, but some sort of crunch is good, okay? Any kind of crunch. You want to throw a crunch in there. Throw a bunch of ranch on it. I'm looking around me for that. That wasn't anywhere. I could not find that salad anywhere. Now, I found one place that had something that they called a Cobb salad. Why the fuck was there edamame on it? And you're probably like, well, okay, just where you could just request not to have the edamame. That's not a big deal. And I'm like, I would agree with you, right? Yeah, except for the fact that they don't give ranch. They give a balsamic vinaigrette. I should choke you. Are you kidding me? How dare you call that a Cobb salad and not give me ranch? Don't talk to me right now. Give me a second, everybody. I need to take a minute. That one just sent me over just even thinking about it. Because I remember looking at that shit on the menu and I was like, So I moved on, obviously, from that. And I started looking around for other places. I found another salad. I just started looking at fried chicken salad near me. Like, maybe I can find that, right? I find a place that has somewhat of a similar salad to a Cobb salad. And I was like, okay, like I can just get fried chicken on it. It came with grilled chicken. So I call the place. I'm like, hello, this is a restaurant, right? This is a restaurant. I call the restaurant. I'm like, hey, I saw that y'all have this salad. And they were like, yes, we have that salad. And they tell me what comes on it. And I was like, that's great. I was wondering if it's possible to sub the grilled chicken for fried chicken. And she's like, the salad comes with grilled chicken. And I was like, yes, no. But what I'm saying is can I get fried chicken instead? Oh no, we don't do that. I felt like I'm talking about judgment voice. Like, oh no, we don't do that. And then that's when I realized LA is very health conscious. Like very health conscious. Like you could find health food anywhere here. Like there's a healthy restaurant on every corner. Like I mean like, oh, like this is an organic only like restaurant, or this restaurant is like specializing in having only healthy meals, you can find those everywhere. You cannot find fried stuff anywhere. That is going to be definitely more difficult to find. LA is like huge for health food, burgers. There's a lot of pizza here. and pizza. Those are the three things that I would say so far have been my experience with like food in LA. Like obviously you can find ethnic food here. Like there's a lot of fucking ethnic food here, but like I'm talking about like if you're looking for like some basics, like deep fried shit, buddy, they don't got it. That is something I have learned is only in the South. And I don't think I'm ever going to try the barbecue here. Don't piss me off. I don't think I'm gonna try the barbecue here. I don't know if it just, I look up videos of like places and like people reviewing like the barbecue that's here, and like they'll be talking about, oh, it's so good, like it's the best I've ever had, and it just falls off the bone and all this and that, right? But then when they take a bite out of it, I don't know, it's not matching up visually. Like I'm looking at that and they're like, these are the best ribs I've ever had, and I'm like, why does it look like that? It doesn't look good. And now I feel like you're lying. And you're saying it falls off the bone, but it looked like you had to put a little bit of jaw work into it. It looked like you bit it. It should just melt. You should pick up the bone and be like, it all fell off. Why were you able to pick it up? Why was it still stable? Like that doesn't make sense to me. And let me tell you where I got my barbecue from. When I was I didn't get my barbecue in the city of Atlanta. I would drive back home. Now, back home an hour south of where I lived, and I lived in the middle. I lived about over an hour away from like south of Atlanta, right? And so I would go like in another hour. Jesus, Jezabelle, find the fucking words. I would drive an hour south of that, so we're a little bit over like maybe 2.5 hours away from Atlanta, right? It's in the middle of nowhere. There's this, you're driving, and off to the side, it's just like this dirt patch, and this tiny little building that's got a few little like places in there, right? And on the corner is this little place that is just large enough for you to walk into. Like I would say it's probably the size of your kitchen, the entire restaurant, because you don't sit and eat in there. You don't. You literally step in, and I'd say like you can only stand right there, and then you have like this counter that blocks you from the rest of the restaurant, and it's like where they take your order, and just the rest of the building is just kitchen. And you damn near can touch the other fucking side of it. And it's a few women back there. They're all older and very sweet ladies. Very, very sweet old ladies. And they're cooking everything from scratch. Everything. And they're having the time of their lives, and they're blasting music and shit. But the thing is, in there, all they're doing is the sides. Oh my God, it was the best potato salad I've ever had in my whole life. I don't think I'll ever have a better potato salad. I gotta call them. They gotta give me the recipe. Outside is where the meat gets cooked. Outside is this giant kind of, what would it be called? Gazebo? Like, those like giant, like those things that people bring to the beach, and they like screw it into the ground, and it's like a cover on top. It's not a tent because it's not covered on the sides, but it's just like, just like you can stand under it. And it's basically something like that, but it's metal, and it's right outside. It's screwed into the dirt. And underneath it is just massive piles of wood and this ginormous smoker and this old man. I'm talking about wearing a straw hat and everything. And this beat up, just like, what's it called? Rocking chair. And he just sits there and rocks back and forth all day. And he just cooks the meat. And they were open like 3 days a week. It'd be like weird days. It was like Wednesday, Thursday, and then I think on a Saturday. His whole story was that he was retired, and he just wanted to do what he loved. He worked his whole life like working a real job, and now that he's retired, he wanted to do what he enjoyed, which was cooking barbecue. And buddy, let me tell you something. Oh my God, it was the best barbecue I've ever had. Oh my God. And that is exactly why I absolutely probably will not try barbecue here in California. I don't think that that's going to match up. I don't think that that's going to be the same. There's other places that I have interest in trying barbecue. I want to try barbecue in Texas, and I think it's North Carolina. I believe it's North Carolina that's really known for their barbecue. Those are the places that I like want to actually go to just to try barbecue. My God. Ain't nothing better than a man that can make some meat. I'm gonna be real with you. If you are a man, but he learned to make some meat, I don't care if it's a steak, you make ribs, learn to make some meat. That'll take you far in life. I'm not joking. If you're looking for something to impress women, learn how to cook some meat. Something like that. Women, I feel like we gravitate more towards like side stuff. Like, I can't lie to you. Like, I really do not prioritize protein. And I don't know if that's like, if a lot of you women can relate to that. It might just be in my head, but I just kind of assumed all girls were like that. That I just really do not prioritize protein. I really don't. I'll literally eat just like a bowl of pasta with like 0 protein in it. I do not care. I don't. and slaying it too is crazy. So I know all these different like recipes in my head of just like random sides to make, because that's like, even when I serve myself, like when I make the protein, like when I make chicken or something along with all the other food that I cook, I fill my plate up with sides and then I'll fucking throw like 2 little chicken wings on there. I got like a cup worth of just like different sides, like 1 cup of this side, 1 cup of that side, 1 cup of this side, right? Takes up the whole fucking plate, and then 2 little chicken wings. Because I'm not prioritizing that. I do not care for it. So there's a lot of meats that I actually don't know how to make, unless I guess I'd be reading a recipe. I haven't even attempted to cook steak. I have not even attempted to. I don't want to try it. You know what? Actually, I think I tried one time and it went really, really bad. I literally threw it out. I threw it out. It was so bad. Oh my God, I forgot about that. Yeah, so it's like really impressive to me when someone makes a steak. If I see somebody make a steak, that's crazy. That's very impressive to me. Sear and finish it in the oven. I don't know, man. I fucked it up last time. Shout out to Hoser92 for subscribing. Thank you. You're eating shrimp fried rice? You always eating something unhealthy. You're going to balance it out with an apple again? You got to eat an apple now. Protein is good for neurotransmitters. Yeah, no. Facts. Yeah, I try to get my protein in. I do. For example, I love bagels. I eat bagels pretty much every single day, even on the weekends. Y'all know I love to like go out on the weekends and just like enjoy food and stuff. I get a bagel sandwich just from some place. I literally get a bagel sandwich, some sort of bagel sandwich. If not a bagel sandwich, then I just get a bagel and that's it. Instead of just making it at home. But during the week, I'm like, Jezabelle, you can't just eat only bread for breakfast. Like, come on now, we gotta step it up. So I started buying protein bagels. I started buying the Dave's bread. I think that's what it is. I've started buying Dave's bread's protein bagels. And them things are fucking good. They're very good, I will tell you. And I've even, let me take it a step further. Let me put y'all on, because this is good. So I've been buying like the sweet ones. They got this like French toast bagel, I think that's what it is, or cinnamon and raisin. I don't remember. I don't know how I would get that confused. Whichever one it is. Maybe it's their cinnamon and raisin one. I get that one or the blueberry. And instead of buying like a sweet cream cheese, because I already had regular cream cheese at home, I was like, that just sounds like a gimmick. I was like, I'm not going to have 2 cream cheeses at home. So I started mixing, like, I had yogurt at home. So I started mixing my yogurt with my cream cheese, and like I'll make like a lot of it, like a good bit. So I'll take like a bunch of yogurt and then I'll just mix a little bit of cream cheese in there to get like that little cream cheese twang, and then I eat my bagel with that. So boom, extra protein. So I prioritize it for breakfast. No other time of the day. No. The other night, in fact, I had ramen, what's it called? The Bulldog Spicy Carbonara. I had that ramen with tteokbokki. That was my dinner. I didn't add any protein to that. And then last night, I wanted to have mac and cheese for dinner. And I remember I went to the store with somebody, and like I picked up, I was getting the mac and cheese, and they're like, yes, like, are you going to get chicken or something? And I was like, yeah, I'll get chicken. So I got chicken. And what do you think I did? I served myself a massive amount of mac and cheese. And then I put 2 little chicken wings on my plate. And I most definitely only ate one. But I did go back to the pot of mac and cheese for more mac and cheese. That was supposed to be the whole dinner, was mac and cheese. I need protein if I'm trying to build muscle. I'm not. Man, I don't know. I've been really lax on myself with my eating habits. Growing up, I was pretty strict on myself because there has been a time in my life where I was definitely a heavier girl. And so I started like this big weight loss journey. And I remember I started working out when I was 14 years old because my dad, y'all know, was like a crazy like health freak, and he's like super into the gym. And so he got me like a trainer when I was 14 years old. And he wasn't like trying to like force me to work out or anything, like to like lose weight or anything. He in fact was just like, tell her whatever it is you want to do. Like, what do you want? Like, tell her if you want a big butt. Like, I don't care. He's like, he really didn't care what it was. He just wanted to like, I think he just wanted to include me in things that he enjoyed. Like, that was him spending time with his daughter. He like worked all the time. And so like his free time would be like to go to the gym real quick. And so I think he just wanted to include me, which is, now that I think about it, that's so cute. Because I don't think I ever realized that. That's so sweet. I remember he used to talk to like all his little buddies at the gym about how proud he was of me. Like, yeah, my daughter's working out with like a real trainer. Because what was it? She was like, she did like bodybuilding competitions and she'd like won a few. And this was like a crazy, like this lady was built, right? This lady was built. But yeah, no. So I started like this huge weight loss journey, and you know, my relationship with food was not the best. Sometimes it was okay. Other times it wasn't. I feel like I won't lie to you. I just feel like even when I thought it was okay, it still wasn't great, because like I would think that like, oh, like I'm allowing myself to like eat this like meal that I want. Like, let's say I'd like take myself to like get Chick-fil-A or something, but I'd still think about like the amount of calories it was. I would still think about like what it was that I was eating, and like, okay, like I'll just exercise like more like the next few days. Like I just didn't have like the best relationship with food. And, I think like around maybe about like a year ago, maybe about like a year and a half ago, I just like decided to stop putting so much pressure on myself. And I was like, you know what, just exercise and just eat what it is you want to eat, and stop feeling like you have to force yourself to eat anything more than that, you know, because there was those times where like, oh, I was like cutting and losing weight. And then there were those times where I was like bulking, and, during those different phases, even when I was bulking, like force feeding myself calories when I very much did not want to eat, like I'd feel sick, bro. Like I remember I'd feel sick. Like I really enjoyed working out. It became like a hobby for me. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed pushing myself, like seeing my limits, like all that stuff. It was really great. But like, oh my God, I remember I hated eating. I hated that shit. Because when I was cutting, I was having to watch how much I was eating. And then when I was bulking, I was force feeding myself. And I remember like sitting on the couch, like eating so much food and being so full. And then I'd be like, okay, now you got to go eat this. Now you got to like scarf this down. Like, bro, that shit was like, I can't believe I was into working out that much. Like, cause I think about it now and the way that I view food now versus then, like, oh my God, like food was merely just like, I wasn't really seeing it as like food. It was more like sustenance. Like I need to get my body to this point. So crazy. Because there's so much about food to enjoy. Not knocking anybody who thinks like this. Like I said, I was really into working out and I loved that shit. But like now I feel like I'm just like kind of allowing myself to just enjoy, which is really nice. It feels really great because I swear to God, I'm craving foods that like I've never craved before. And it's like crazy to me because years ago, if you told me like, Jezabelle, we're going to an Italian restaurant, I'd be like, oh, go to an Italian restaurant? Like they pretty much only serve pasta. Like I'd have to get something that everybody else was getting. Like everyone's getting pasta and shit. And I'm sitting here just getting like a steak. Some shit that like I've had at like 5 different restaurants. A steak and 2 vegetables or some shit. But like, I swear to God, for my first time ever, I went to an Italian restaurant and oh my God, I pigged the fuck out. It was like, like a couple weeks ago, I went to this Italian restaurant. And it was so fucking good. Oh my God, it was so good. It was the best pasta I've ever had. And I had they served like, you know how like they bring like bread service to like the table? Well, their bread service was like these garlic knots. They were so fucking good. Oh my God. And I got mozzarella sticks, but the thing is they weren't just like the regular mozzarella sticks. They were the triangle ones. Oh my God. I love the triangle mozzarella sticks because you get so much cheese in them. They were massive and so thick, but like crispy, and it was filled with like the best mozzarella, right? I had that. I had fried calamari because you have to get fried calamari. And then I had the clam linguine. Oh my God. The clam sauce was so fucking good. Like I've had clam sauce before, right? But most of the clam sauces I've had, I don't know, they've just been like more like, I guess watery is the way to explain it. When I got this clam linguine, bro, it was like a thick sauce on it. And it was so good. Oh my God, it was so fucking good. And then they gave me a dessert because it was just like my first time being there, and they were like, you know, we want to thank you for coming here. You know, I think it's just something that the owner does for like everybody that's like a new customer there. And they gave me this like dessert that I've never had. It was like a custard that had this sea salt like caramel on top of it, and like there was something else. I think there was like a pistachio cream somewhere in there. And oh my God, it was one of the best desserts I've ever had. And I've been craving it. I've been craving the shit out of it. Oh my God. And I swear to you, that's not something I would have ever craved like years ago. Like that's like crazy. It wasn't fancy. The dessert, well, the food, like the dessert sounds fancy, but like the restaurant itself, like this, I thought it was gonna be like a casual Italian spot. Like I specifically looked for just like a casual spot to go to because I pretty much really just wanted mozzarella sticks, and you know, you could give me ones from the freezer. I'm gonna fuck them up. I love mozzarella sticks. And it ended up being like fucking amazing. Definitely going back. It wasn't tiramisu. I don't know if I've ever had tiramisu actually. You just discovered my YouTube, now you're here. Welcome. A pistachio cream, yeah. I don't know how to, I was fried as hell. I can't lie to you. I was high as fuck in that restaurant. I don't think that's why the food was so good. I don't think that me being fried as hell. I think that me being fried as hell like definitely amped that shit up, but I do think that food was really fucking phenomenal for sure. But I was fried as hell in there. Like it was like I had hotboxed right before. And I had gotten myself to that point of being high, just like where you're really high, but like if you had taken another hit, you would have been uncomfortable. Like you're at that last leg of like, this high is enjoyable. I was fried. Holy shit. That was a good time. What a great fucking time. I think I'm gonna go back there this weekend though, because I keep thinking about it. I'm fried. I don't even know why I keep smoking. Damn. Y'all are gonna like this week's YouTube video. I did drag makeup. I got fried out of my mind and did drag makeup. A good portion of the video, I don't even have eyebrows. It's like crazy. I had so much fun filming that video because I remember I made my first video that I did where I did my makeup, and people were like, oh my God, I think literally one person said that like drag makeup would be like really cool to see. And I thought to myself, I was like, I don't think I'd ever be able to do that, but I decided to just try, and I had so much fucking fun. Y'all, it's gonna be so great. Oh my gosh. I want to tell you guys about my friend recently getting way too high on some THCA. So I gave somebody some THCA. I had these pre-rolls that I wasn't going to smoke, and they asked me if they could have them, and I was like, yeah, you can have them. And I was like honest with them. I was like, honestly, like I smelled them and I didn't think that they smelled that great. I was like, but you can have them. And they were like, okay, bet. And so they started smoking them, and they got like fried out of their mind, right? And they started telling me, they're like, oh, like I don't feel so good right now. Like they smoke, so I think it's a sativa too. So like they were telling me, they were like, yeah, like I don't feel good right now. They were like, I feel like I'm getting like really anxious. And I was like, okay, like chill, you're good, just like lay down, you're fine. Like, yeah, like I need to lay down, like I'm starting to get like really cold right now. And they're like shivering and shit, right? They're getting the shakes. And I was like, okay, just lay down. I was like, I'm gonna turn the AC off, okay, put the blankets on you, all right, everything's fine. I'm gonna get you some water, like you're good. So I go into the kitchen, I go to get them some water, and they're like, okay, all right. And I was like, trust me, you're good. They're like, no, like my heart's beating really fast. I was like, your heart's not beating fast, it's all in your head, chill, you're fine. And they're like, no, I can feel it. And okay, I'm gonna be real with you, like I am a liar. This is how I help people. And I'm just gonna be real with you. If you're ever in this predicament and you're with somebody, this tends to like 99% of the time help. They'll be like, my heart's racing right now. I was like, you can feel your heart right now. And they're like, yeah, like I could feel it, like yeah. I was like, you can feel it beating on your chest. And they're like, yes. I was like, so you put your hand up to your chest and you feel it. And so they put their hand up to their chest and they're like, yeah, I feel it. And I was like, let me try. Let me see. So I put my hand on their chest, and real shit, I didn't feel anything. They're a bit thicker of a person. I put my hand on there, and I was like, I don't feel anything. I was like, I can't feel anything through there. I like pushed around on them a little bit, and they started laughing, and I was like, see, you're good, you're fine. I was like, you gonna tell me that you felt something right now? They were like, nah, like I didn't, like you're right. I definitely didn't feel something. And they started like laughing about it, right? And I was like, you're good. I was like, look, do you want me to take your heart to check your heart rate right now? Because I have an Apple Watch. And so I was like, you want me to check your heart rate? And they're like, yeah, check my heart rate. And so I always put my Apple Watch on the person, and I don't let them see it. I'm the one that's looking at it. I put it on their arm, and I'm holding up their arm, right? And I'm looking at it, and I just start talking to them. I'll be like, you see, like you're fine. Like you're going to be fine. I promise you. Like it's just all in your head. You just got to lock in. Like I just like kind of talk them through it for a second. And then once it lets me know their heart rate, sometimes it's not high, you know what I mean? Like they're just like, it really is in their head, and like I've been able to like calm them down. Other times it's up there. Other times there was this one time that this person's heart rate was at like 135, and like I took it and I was like, and so I lied. Obviously I'm lied. I'm not gonna look at them and be like, oh my God, your heart, it's going 135 miles an hour. Like I'm not gonna turn around and say that shit to them. That would freak me the fuck out if somebody told me that. So I always lie. I'm just like, man, you're fine. They'll just go, really? Like I'm fine. And I'm like, yeah, like your heart rate is not that high. I was like, it's a little bit elevated for somebody who's sitting. And I'll like be like, oh, it's like 80 or like it's like 90 or 95, you know, but I was like, just breathe a little bit and you'll be fine, right? This person's heart rate was at 125. And so I was like, you're tripping, like you're good, you're fine, genuinely. And so I take my Apple Watch off immediately and put it back on my wrist. I was like, you're totally fine, like it's not a big deal. And they were like, oh, because like I don't know, I guess it is all in my head, but I could have swore like I felt my heart. And so I took my Apple Watch off again to like, as I kept talking to them, to like keep checking it to make sure it was going down, right? I got them more water, and it was starting to go down. They were at 112 then. So I was like, okay, it is in their head. And so I just like keep chilling with them. I was like, do you want to go to sleep? Do you want to just like sit here? Like, what do you want to do? They're like, I'm just going to lay here. And I was like, okay, I'm going to like, I go to like refill their water and stuff. I was like, I'm going to refill your water. And then they just started staring at me. Like they didn't say anything out. Like they were just like looking at me. And so I was like, I'm going to go get you more water. You okay? I'm going to get you some more water. Okay. And then they were like, okay. Yeah. Okay. That sounds good. And I was like, okay, good. So I go and I get them more water, and I come in and I sat next to them and I gave them the water. And I was like, take small sips. Like, you're fine. I like rubbed their back a little bit. I was like, you're good. And they were like, okay, thank you. And I was like, you want me to put on the TV? You want to put on something like fun and nice to watch? And they were like, yeah, that'd be good. Nothing scary though. And I was like, I'm not gonna put anything scary. I was like, I'll put on something fun. How about a cartoon? You want me to put on a cartoon? I'm like talking them through it, right? And they're like, yeah, that sounds good. And they're starting to like visibly look better and happier. After a little while, I like, their high started to die down. They started to feel better. I gave them some food. They ate some food. They were fine, right? And as their high died down, they like looked at me and they were like, yo, like, I was really fucking high. And I was like, yeah, I could tell. And they were like, I felt like I was tweaking out for a second. I was like, yeah, like you're good though. Like you're better now, right? And they're like, yeah. They're like, I thought that you were like a goddess. I was like, what? They said that they thought like they were so like fried that they were like laying down, and I kept just like helping them with stuff and like bringing them water and like making sure that they were okay. And they said that they felt like I was like a goddess, like reviving them, like bringing them back to life. And I was like, oh, okay, nice, that's good. And they were like, yeah, because you were just being so helpful to me. They were like, I was like their angel. Like, oh my God. So no, don't smoke that strain. They thought I was reviving them back to life. Low-key made me feel good though. It's like, oh my God, stop. You've been there before? Oh my God. When I get too fried like that, I can't be around people. Like I need to lock in. I gotta lock in. One thing that they said to me that was really interesting was I made this joke when we were talking about like what it was we were gonna put on the TV when they wanted to like watch something, and they were like, don't put something scary on. I was like, I'm gonna put Law and Order. I'm gonna put Law and Order SVU on. It's something I'd been watching recently. But I told them I was gonna put that on, and they were like, no. Like that show's so scary. I was like, yeah, it is scary. And they were like, honestly, but like it's not even just like scary for what it's about. They were like, it's just too many faces. And that's something that's crazy to me, is that, do y'all get like that when you get like too fried, like it's too many faces, like you can't stare at too many like people? It's like uncanny valley, like you don't know who this person, like they look like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like uncanny valley, like these people, like they look weird. And when there's too many faces, I think my brain is trying to analyze it too much. Only when you've taken too much acid. I loved looking at faces and stuff when I tripped. What does my hoodie say? It says Neil World. Wow, there's some people that don't get like that. That's crazy. Wow, it must be really cool being you. Because let me tell you something. When I smoke too much and I'm with people, I start looking around me and I'm like, this shit doesn't look human. You know what I mean? Like something's off. Like obviously I know I'm just like high and shit, and I remind myself I'm just like fried right now. But like I'm still looking around, and like low key in the back of my head I'm like, are these people like real? Like, is this real right now? You want to get that high again? Dude, I feel so bad hearing people say that. For me, buddy, I still get that fried, and easily too. Like I can take one bong rip and like I gotta lock the fuck in. Like, do y'all remember back when like that earthquake happened and I was with Eric, and I was like fried out of my mind from that like crazy bong rip that I took. I remember like right when the bong rip like hit, like I immediately exhaled, and I knew that it was too much. Like I'd never like, this was the biggest bong rip I've ever taken. And so like I put it down and I like stepped away, and I was like, oh no, like that was too much. I was like, I'm about to be fried as hell right now. Like I'm about to be too fried. And it like hit instantly, bro. Like I'm standing in the kitchen and I like looked around, and it like visually everything changed. Like I went from like being in a familiar person's like kitchen and home and like knowing the surroundings, like knowing everything that's around me, to it felt fake. Like I was like, even just like the lighting in like the entire like kitchen and living room, I was like, I looked around and I was like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm in a game right now. Like this is not real. Like I don't know where I am. Like I don't want to look at anything. Like everything was just weird as fuck. I had to lock the fuck in for like an hour. I was like that for an hour. I was like, I didn't even look at Eric. I couldn't look at him. I couldn't look at his dog either. That's another thing. Oh my God, if I get too fried, I can't look at animals. I start getting really like, I start questioning things too much. It freaks me out a little bit. It freaks me out just a little bit. It freaks me out too much. POV mode, yeah. It wasn't just POV mode. It's just like if I look at like a dog or like any kind of animal or just I guess anything with a face, honestly. Maybe that's really what it is. I don't know. But like when I look at animals, I start thinking like, damn, there's for real just like an animal in my house. I don't know how else to explain it to you. Like I'm looking at it and like instead of registering that this is like my dog, I'm looking at it like this is a creature. This is a creature that is just around me right now. Like I've just let this animal just live in my home. I start thinking about it too much and I'm like, whoa, this is freaky. One time you were so fried that your dog had human eyes. What kind of dog do you have? Do you have one of those weird dogs? Y'all know what dogs I'm talking about? The ones that are golden doodles? Is that what they're called? The word pareidolia, is that like a fear of like faces or something? Things that look like faces? They be staring like they're disappointed. No. Oh my god, I need to have Nova on the stream again. You guys, I have to post a picture of her so you guys can see what one of my dogs looks like. She looks like she's always like sad. Like she looks like she's been through something. Like she does not look like happy. She looks like she's like very depressed. And it's because like the color of her fur, it's like she has eyebrows, but her eyebrows are shaped in a way that it just like makes it look like she's her eyebrows, like they're like shaped in a way that it makes it look like her face is just like she's sad, and then like she has like a massive underbite, so like her face looks like that. So she just has like this like really like bad frowny face. Like she'll be perfectly happy too, like there's nothing bad's going on, but she just has this like very sad face. It makes me think about how like I had read somewhere that pets, like dogs, have evolved to like know how to like get us to give them what they want. Like they know that they look cute. They know how to make like a face. Like those puppy dog eyes, like that whole saying, like that's actually like a thing. Like dogs like know how to make you feel bad to get what they want. With their faces, they have evolved in the way that their faces look so that they do look cuter to us, so that we will want to give them things. Isn't that fucking crazy? So sometimes I'll look at my dog and like they'll give me a look and I'll be like, no, I'm not falling for it. Don't even try to pull that shit right now. Cause bro, that's just crazy. There's so many times they for real get everything they want and then they'll pull some shit like that. And I'm like, you know what? Wait a second. I know you've just evolved. That's what this is. You know I'll just give in. I'm not going to give in. We bred them that way too. We did. Oh my god, I remember when my dogs got transferred from Atlanta to LA. The lady that was like transferring like the pets, like she had a couple other pets in like this huge van, right? And she asked me, she was like, "Do you want to see like this other dog that I'm like transferring?" And I was like, "Sure." And she pulled out the most hideous thing I've ever seen. The most hideous thing I've ever seen. And she showed me like the dog had like a passport and shit. Like it came from another country. It was like crazy. And it was like so overbred that it couldn't walk. I don't even know what the name of the dog is. I'll describe it to you. It looks like a really, really, really small, like low to the ground, like pit. Like you can see every muscle on their body. And they're like super, super like low, like they're big, but they're like super low to the ground, right? And their legs are like all the way out like this. Like they're like fucked up looking, right? But a bully, that's what it is? Yeah. Like so, oh my God, so low to the ground and so overbred. Like this is a puppy still, right? But you can see every muscle on its body as if like it doesn't matter like what you feed this dog. Like they're going to be muscular. And its feet, instead of like being like that weird kind of like overbred where it's like their legs are just out like this, its legs were completely like straight straight. And when she put it on the ground to like walk, it's like belly pretty much dragged on the floor. And it was like, it wasn't walking. It was like kind of like a worm, you know, kind of like a centipede type movement, like going like that with like its front and back legs. It was so bad. And like when she showed it to me, like I didn't know, like I couldn't read the vibe in the room. And so I didn't know if like I was supposed to be like, oh, it's so cute, or if I was supposed to tell her my real opinion. And so I was just kind of staring at it like, ah, wow. And then she gave me her opinion. She was like, yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? And I was like, yes, that's really bad. She's like, yeah, it sounds like he could barely breathe, but I'm just the one transferring him. And I was like, oh my God, like this thing was hideous. I felt so bad. Like, put it out of its misery. Like it couldn't breathe or nothing. Oh my God. Oh, good fuck. Jesus. The fact that I immediately saw that. Yeah, but that poor dog. That's crazy. I can't imagine even wanting a dog like that. Like I don't know what like possesses people. Like, is there anybody in the chat? Like, just be real. Does anyone have a dog like that that's like hella overbred? I don't know, man. I don't know anybody personally that has a dog like that, but anytime I see somebody, like it'll always be like some crazy rich person with like a dog like that. That shit's crazy to me. They're so expensive too. Oh. There's so many dogs out there too that need to be adopted. I feel like if I were rich, I don't know if I'd buy like a purebred, like a dog from like a breeder. I think I would just adopt. If there was like a very specific dog that I really wanted, I'd probably just like call around other shelters to see if they had them. I think there's like specific rescue shelters that specialize in different dogs too. Like if you were somebody that like really likes Doberman or like German Shepherds, I know that there's like specific rescue ones where you can adopt from those. I think that I want to adopt more dogs in my life and more cats for sure. I think that after, you know, I'm finished raising these animals and giving them the best life that I can, I'm going to get a bunch of cats next. I think that's the next thing. A bunch of cats for me. Your animals were adopted off the street? We just have a German Shepherd though. Yeah, no, both of my dogs are rescues. One of them is a dog that was rehomed, and then the other one is a dog that I adopted from a shelter. The one that was rehomed is a pure black lab, but when I got him, oh my God, he was like so young. So the person had told me that he was 6 months old. This dog wasn't even 6 weeks. Like, definitely still needed his mother, right? And he had the worst pot belly. Oh my God, I'd never seen a puppy's belly that fucking wide. I was like, holy shit. And all he did was sleep too. Like, you could tell it, this dog was obviously like sick because of like how much worms was in this fucking dog. All he did was sleep. He didn't do anything else. And so I took him to the vet immediately. And the vet had told me, they were like, thank God, like, you have this dog because like this dog would definitely died. And they gave me all these different medications, and I got him on like this whole like regimen for like shots and stuff. And he's still alive and very well and healthy today. But like, oh my God, it was insane. How do you even let it get that bad? Filled with worms is crazy. Your sister adopted a purebred Frenchie for $50. That's a steal. Holy shit. I knew somebody that was selling French bulldogs for $9,000 a piece. And then, oh my God, what was the name of it? Maybe you guys know. There's like a pet store that you can go to, and you can just like walk in and meet like a bunch of like dogs. It's not like it's like a pet store where you go to adopt dogs. It's not like a pet store where you go to like buy food and stuff like that. What is it called? They charge big money. Like I remember me and my friend were hanging out. This was like back in 2019, and they asked me if I want Petland. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know. They were like, you want to go to this place to like go pet puppies? And I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. So we went to the store to go pet puppies. And first of all, they looked awful. These dogs looked awful that I felt so bad that I wanted to just like adopt all of them. I felt so bad. Petland, is that what it is? I felt so awful. I wanted to adopt one so bad. There was like this, it was a Great Dane, and he looked awful. And I knew that like he looked awful because I grew up with a Great Dane. And so I know what a healthy Great Dane is supposed to look like. And this was not healthy. And I was like petting him, and I remember thinking like, okay, I got to take this dog. So I asked, I'm like, how much is this puppy? $9,000. $9,000. And I was like, oh my God. And so I started asking about the other dogs, and there was a Frenchie that they had there that was $12,500. And I was like, where the fuck are they getting these prices from? I was like, what the fuck? Like, there were people in there like shopping for like a pet. And I was like, who the fuck is buying it? Like buying this? Who's getting this? What the fuck? And so I started reading the reviews about the place, and like on Google, there were all these reviews of people that were saying they bought like dogs from there, and the dogs all died. Like they were so sick. Like they had parvo, the dogs were a lost cause. Like these dogs like died just like a few days after being like bought. Like what the fuck? And they were saying that they couldn't get like a refund or like a new pet or anything. Like they paid for this pet and they were not giving them a refund or a new pet to like replace or anything. And there was multiple reviews like that. And like a few of them were the Frenchie dogs too, which is just fucking crazy. Is that store still in business? Like how does a store like that stay in business? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Because who the fuck thinks, oh, I want to get a pet, and like goes to a fucking store, like a fucking store filled with just animals, and they're like $9,000 a dog. Who? I could not imagine going somewhere like that to buy a dog. I cannot imagine that. Frenchies need an operation to continue living. Yeah, like it's something in their spine, isn't it? I know that like they can't like breathe. And like I'm sure y'all have seen like crazy overbred ones. It's like 4,000. Yeah, Frenchies have gone down in price though, for sure. But yeah, no, oh my gosh, I remember there was this one person. Frenchies are super popular in Atlanta. Oh my God. I low-key used to hate it. Like I love pets, I love dogs, I love all that, right? But oh my God, I hated seeing so many Frenchies because you can hear that they can't fucking breathe. You can hear that they can't breathe. And I remember going on like a walk, and there's like this place called the Beltline where like everybody goes to walk, and people would be walking their pets on the Beltline, and it'd be like a bunch of Frenchies just like back to back of just all of them not being able to breathe. And it just sounded so awful because it's so loud too. Oh my God. On another note too, people that bring their dogs out for a walk when it's like almost 100 degrees outside is crazy. That's just on another super random note. It'll be like 100 degrees outside, beating down sun, and people are taking their like dogs to walk on concrete. I'm barely alive right now walking. That thing right there, or people who take them on a run too. Have y'all ever seen people who like go for a run with their dog, and it'll be hot as fucking balls outside, like drenched in sweat. They're trying to run, and they're for real dragging their dog behind them. Like the dog is trying to stop and is like, like looks like he's dying. And then they just start like pulling, like, come on. What the fuck are you doing? Oh. What are you doing? You don't hear that? Oh my gosh. I remember one time I stopped and I gave a dog water. Like I was this was actually in Atlanta. I was walking on the Beltline, and this person had I think it was a pit, and the dog was panting so hard and loud, and the guy was trying to get the dog to go. And first of all, this man was a big burly man. He was very much capable of picking up this pit and carrying him. Like the ratio of dog to human, like he definitely could have carried it like a baby. But he kept trying to like pull the dog, and the dog was clearly like, he sat down and just like kind of fell over. Like he looked like he was about to go into like have a heat stroke. So I was like, fuck, like I like opened up my water bottle. I was like, does he have any water? Like, do you have any water for him? And he was like, no, I don't have any water. I was like, I'll just give him my water. And so I had like a pretty big bottle. And so I let him like drink out of it and stuff. He drank all my water. And then like, there was nothing else I could do. That's all I could do. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to go now. And his dog looks like he's about to fucking pass out. Oh my God. Some people just shouldn't have a pet. There's just like basic knowledge. It's like, even if you didn't do the research to find out like what temperatures you shouldn't bring a dog outside in, you know, what are better hours to walk your dogs, what kind of exercise they need, what would be best for them, you know, if you're not going to do that research, you know, I just feel like it's common knowledge that if you're looking at an animal that can't even stand up and is panting loud as fuck, that maybe that's not normal. Just maybe. That's crazy. But yeah, no, it's like a really low temperature that you can't bring dogs outside in. They can go outside and just like supervise them, but I think it's like 70 degrees outside. Like once it starts like getting above 70, like a dog can't enter heat stroke. Like you're supposed to like watch them and pay attention, like make sure they're not overexerting themselves, and like don't be outside for like an extended period of time. Like it's a very low temperature for them actually. And it's like a low temperature for like, there's like a huge difference in like the concrete and like the heat that's outside. Like the sunlight like heats up the ground. Oof. Like it's crazy. And so like dogs like get their paws burnt, and I've literally seen dogs like walking in a way before where you can tell that the ground is like burning their paws, and it's just like crazy. And also, damn, like I just keep going. There's a lot of husky owners out here. A lot of husky owners. I've seen more huskies than any other dog here. What the fuck? Maybe, you know, I get maybe you adopted him and shit, but like, dude, I couldn't do that. A husky, do you know how difficult? First of all, this weather is not meant for them. It was 104 degrees today. It was 104 degrees. Can you imagine owning a husky in 104 degree weather? If you do it, buddy, that's crazy. That's a lot of upkeep, because you have to give them like ice baths and shit, and like very frequently. Like they need a completely different climate than that. Yep, they need ice baths. And I remember like there's times where like, I don't know. There's just some people, I knew this one specific person that was like a neighbor of mine that like had a husky, right? And I just knew for a fact, like, this guy's definitely not giving this dog like ice baths. He's definitely not giving this dog ice baths. Oh, I couldn't imagine being the husky. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too deep into it, but yeah, no, that's a lot of fucking upkeep. Had a husky a while ago, and she loved running in the heat. She didn't care at all, but she was a weird exception. Yeah, no. I don't know. That's actually a good take on that for a second. Hold on. Because would they even like be able to know, if that makes sense, that they shouldn't be in that type of climate? Because like if it's all that they know, do they just like kind of like adapt to it, or is it still very bad for them? And like, because obviously like a dog is going to want to run outside. You know what I mean? Oh, a raid? Who is this? What the heck? That's crazy. Pack me up, Amine. That's crazy. Hello. Your brother has a husky in Texas? That sounds insane. Dude, the weather today, with it being like 104 degrees, I didn't know it was 104 degrees. I found out from somebody else. It was 104 degrees. I didn't know because today was an editing day for me, and I don't leave the house on editing days. Editing takes me all day long. It takes me about 12 hours. So I typically don't go outside. And I finished editing around like 6 o'clock, and I got a text from somebody. They were like, I'm about to go like ride my bike outside, even though it's like 103 outside. And I thought that they were like over exaggerating. I thought that they were being like, it's like 103 degrees outside, you know? But then I was like, it's 103 degrees. And so I checked the weather, and it literally said 103 degrees. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I was like, well, what's the next few days? Bitch, it's going to be 108. It's September. It's September. I have pumpkins on my door. 108? I've never felt that before. So I think I'm going to take a video. Like for my dad. I'll show you guys if you want to see it. But I've never experienced 104 degree weather. I'm not, sorry, not 104, 108 degree weather. Like I don't know what that's going to feel like. So I'm curious to see like what that type of heat feels like, because I've felt like 95 degrees here, and like the 90s here is fucking hot. That shit is fucking hot. It's a different type of heat. So I don't even know what 108 is going to feel like. So I'm like scared, but I think it's going to be interesting. I'm not looking forward to the weekend so much. Because the person that I typically hang out with, fishbowl and leather seats. And it's going to be like, I think the rest of the weekend is supposed to be like between 105 to 108. It's already so hot in their car. Like when it's like 80 degrees outside. It's going to be so hot. Oh my God. It's like I'm on Mars, drink water. Yeah, no, I'm definitely going to have to drink a lot of water. Maybe I shouldn't go outside that day. I don't know. Maybe that's an inside day. Maybe do something inside. Binge watch a bunch of movies or something. Oh my gosh. 108 is actually ridiculous. Oh my God. We've been on here for for an hour and 26 minutes. I thought it'd been like maybe like 40. Oh my God. Holy shit. That was so fast. That cruised on by, right? That's crazy. Okay, facts, y'all. It's been an hour and a half. I gotta get off of here. It's time to make dinner. This is like my sign to make dinner. This is like how I keep myself on like a decent schedule of eating. Cause like on the days where I don't stream, buddy, sometimes I eat dinner at literally like, at like 1 a.m. Like I just like, it's like I lose like no more time. Like time is genuinely a construct to me up there. Dinner at 1 a.m. This helps to keep me on a schedule. Anyway, guys, this was so fire. I missed you guys from Monday. I hope that you guys had a great Labor Day. Oh my God, our next stream is just going to be Friday. That's crazy. But I hope that you guys had a great week so far. I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your night and sleep very well tonight and wake up feeling great, because tomorrow's going to be a great day. Yay. Look forward to the YouTube video on Friday. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. I love you guys so much. This has been a fire sesh. Sleep very well, everybody. See you on Friday. Good night.